Hey guys, this is Woody. Today we're going to go over some basic tips on how to make you a better Blaston player. There's some very basic information I think is just a lot of people don't know about it, and today I'm going to kind of go over them as much as possible. So number one, I like to go over all the weapons, or at least the weapons that's in my arsenal and what I like to use. Based on countless games that I play, I personally feel that this right here is by far the most powerful loadout or most powerful setup. Now, let's go over each one and why do I have them in my arsenal. Now, first of all is the spread Shotty. The spread Shotty, in my opinion, is by far the most powerful weapon in the entire game at the moment. You could use the spread Shotty a couple different ways. You could wait for 2 spread Shotty, which I always like to do. Even 1 spread Shotty, it actually covers a pretty good area. Look, 1 spread Shotty. Alright, so when I fire spread Shotty, there's a couple ways to fire spread Shotty. There's some players go like this. This is a pretty good one. It catches a lot of newer players off guard. But personally speaking, I like it to fire from the waist. And because it covers a wide area. Okay? So single spread Shotty is pretty decent, but usually I wait for 2 spread Shotties, and this is what I do. Now the player really have nowhere to go, right? So usually when you're doing the 2 spread Shotty, boom, boom, and then right away you pick up fast weapons. So wherever he goes, right? So he's jumping. If he's jumping, you start shooting at him as he's jumping, right? So will be boom, boom, and then he jumps. He's gonna take damage. Now, that's the spread Shotty. And also, another thing the spread Shotty is good at is a lot of people like to carry Nova. So personally, I feel the spread Shotty is slightly better than Nova in terms of damage, because when you destroy a Nova with spread Shotty, okay, 1 Nova, so this is Nova. So your spread Shotty actually destroy the Nova, and then it also have 2 or 3 pellets left over, which is great because not only that you're destroying what's coming at you, but you're also having a little bit of damage to apply pressure to your enemy. And then lastly, as of right now, pretty much spread Shotty is a really good counter to boss shield. So if someone has boss shield, it's very annoying. It slows the pace of the game down by a lot. So in order to clear that, especially since your arsenal is very good at attacking, this is by far the best weapon in your arsenal to clear the boss shield. So the boss shield is the shield, you kind of just put it up. It's a square. So spread Shotty. Next weapon up, the Nova. So before I didn't have Nova for the longest time, but I realized that Nova is pretty darn strong. Okay, so what's good about Nova is usually I like to wait for 2 Novas, right? So 1 Nova is okay, but if you have 2, you're gonna go boom, 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 and then you have 2 spread Shotty. There's no getting out of that unless they have a shield and they know how to use it, right? So the combo with Nova, boom, 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 spread Shotty. So that's usually a pretty good combo. And and now I'm gonna go over how you get to that. Okay, so yeah, so that's Nova, and also Nova is very good at defending. So enemy has a bunch of bullets coming at you. If you throw up a Nova, you can usually block it, unless it's coming from a spread Shotty shot that's coming to you. So the reason that I talked about that combo is because of these 3 items in my deck, right? I have the Raptor. This is a 1-second cooldown weapon. The Wildcat. This is a 3-second or 4-second, 3-second, yeah, 3-second cooldown weapon. And then also the Hammer. That's a 3-second cooldown weapon. This is super crucial. The reason for that is because so this is how long it takes for the weapon to spawn, right? It takes 1 second for this weapon to spawn. So the weapon spawns super quickly. So you could grab it and you could apply pressure with it while you're waiting for the big item. But at the same time, your bench, so whatever weapon that's not in your hand, so you usually have 6 weapons, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6 locations that's able to spawn weapon. Once a total cooldown of 20 seconds is met, so any weapon, so 5 plus 7 plus 1, that's 12, 13, you know, and then 6, 19. So pretty much you could only hold 20 seconds worth of weapon on your bench. Anything in your hand doesn't count. So you will constantly grabbing low cooldown weapon, right? Because their spawn rate is so fast. As you're grabbing them, your powerful weapon is going to spawn. Okay, so that's why this 3 item is super crucial. Now I'm gonna go over basically how to use this 3 weapons. So for the Raptor, you can also always use a double Raptor. Okay, double Raptor. And then for the Shotty, Raptor also go with Shotty. Then you have the Wildcat. Usually I don't like to use Wildcat by itself because I feel that it's not that strong by itself. But what I like to combo Wildcat with is usually a faster. So because this is a lot slower, so as I shoot them, then I shoot out the other weapon, right? So the Wildcat with Raptor or Wildcat with Hammer. Those 2 out of the way. And then we're gonna go over Hammer. So Hammer is a good weapon. Technically speaking, Hammer is actually stronger than Nova because Nova takes 7 seconds to spawn 1 weapon, and it also costs 7 to be on your bench, right? Whereas 2 Hammer is 6 seconds total. So if someone shoot at you 3 Nova, you could destroy it, and then you have 1 more extra shot with a Hammer. Yeah, so Hammer here. Oh, how do you say Hammer usually, right? So usually with Hammer, you can be, the spread of it is not that good, so usually I don't spread on them. I usually grab them and I get close as possible, and I go, pretty much the first shot I shoot at my enemy, second shot I shoot where I predict they're gonna go, and then third shot, another prediction, fourth shot, another prediction. And I do it in quick successions, right? Boom, 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 boom. And it's a lot of damage. If someone gets hit by 6 of those pellets, that's like 24 damage, right? That's like almost as much as a curved Viper, right? And then my last item is the curved Viper. So curved Viper is those things that if you get lucky, or you're just really good at them. But even though I practice them a lot, I still need some luck to go with it. If you get lucky, you just do so much damage to your enemy, right? If you hit both, that's 60. That's pretty much all their health gone. So he's right there. Boom. That's 60, right? So the curved Viper, I like to use them together usually. And I usually like to go pretty low. Oh, I played too much today. So right here, and I go boom. So boom. Right, and you do 2. My style right now is I like to go from 1 from the side, 1 to go up. All right, so that's that. Now another way to play the curved Viper is I usually having my shooting hand. So what I would do is I cut them off on one side, and then instead of going down up, or up down, or from the side, I do more of a curve, tilt up. A lot of times what you do is if you shoot this side, they're gonna run the other side, right? As they're running, you're gonna do a curved bullet right at them. And usually that works out really well. So that's my bread and butter usually against newer players who is not very good at the game. Because they get frantic, right? They're like, oh my gosh, shot is coming, where am I gonna go? So you're gonna go boom, bam, right? So yeah. So now, how do you play this deck? Okay, so pretty much we went over each weapon and what they do and how you pretty much use it. Oh, I have a whole tutorial on how to do the curved sniper or the curved Viper. If you have questions on how to use that, refer back to that video. So, how do I use this loadout? When I'm using this loadout, usually I try, if I see weapons start spawning, I look for the Raptor, the Wildcat, the Hammer, and also the Curved Viper. These two I do not touch for two reasons. Number one, versus newer player, I try not to use a overwhelming combo like this. And that's just not fun. Like this is just not fun. This is not fun to play against. The only time I use that is I might lose, and only reason that I cannot lose is because whenever I lose like 40 LP, and each buy kill is 1 LP. It takes 40 bots to regain one match of LP loss. So yeah, so I'm looking for the Raptor, the Wildcat, the Hammer, and also sometimes, this is like a if I want to pick it up. Okay, if I want to pick this up, I'm gonna combo with one other weapon. Okay, so I'm looking for this three, and I'm just gonna start firing. Okay, or you know, I have double Viper, I'm gonna start firing. Or I could have one Viper, one Wildcat, cut them off, fire, right? So that's all fun and dandy, right? So usually if you use Raptor and Wildcat, this even the best player get hit by this. This is such a scary combo because some of the bullets is going slow and the other combo is going fast, right? So you're fighting, and then what's gonna happen is you're gonna have two of those. Eventually your deck's gonna cycle through so much that you're gonna have two Nova. You're also gonna have two Spread Shotty. Okay? So then you're gonna grab two Nova. And then you're gonna grab two Shotty. Boom. Pretty much that's what it is. Right? So if the enemy has a shield, they have a good chance to survive. But the enemy like myself is gonna be pretty difficult. Now, usually if I play someone that has Nova, okay, I will usually wait, I will usually have a Shotty. So sometimes like you don't have to wait until your whole cycle, right? If someone's, you know, spamming with Nova, you're gonna grab your Shotty and you're just gonna destroy the Nova with it. So yeah, so that's pretty much my weapon tip. What kind of arsenal that you should have and how you play this specific deck. And once again, as of right now, I believe this is by far the strongest deck that's out there. Yeah, if you have any questions about the game, feel free to leave them down below. If I miss anything that you'd like to add, please leave a comment as well. Otherwise, thank you guys very much for watching. This is Woody. Until next time, take good care of yourself.